All right, Shalom. Before I start, we're going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakakrash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all the elect Akim, Wa Akwath, learning and teaching in truth and sincerity. All right, this is going to be another video through the Spirit. Did a lot of digging today while I was at work all day today. All right, and we're going to be bringing up, just more irrefutable proof that the fact that the nation of Edom was not utterly destroyed in the ancient world, and that they are today, and that their descendants today are the so-called white people that you see running about. One of their main tribes being the people who claim to be Israel. All right, they call themselves the Uish with a J in front, but even they truly know that they're only converts. So we're going to be looking at a collection of things today because they snitch on themselves. All right, now what I wanted to actually get was that original quote from the Jewish encyclopedia that the elders and apostles always mention, where it says modern day Jewry is Rome. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to bounce around because you have scoffers like Vocab who say the Edomites were exterminated based off of two scriptures right here, right? You go to one in the Apocrypha out of 1 Maccabees 5. It says this right here, 1 Maccabees 5. And let me see. Yep. Right here, right? It says 1 Maccabees 5 and 3. Now, this is what some scoffers like to use. Now, here it is. The same scoffers will tell you they don't believe in the Apocrypha, but they'll try to go to the Apocrypha to show the Edomites are done away with, right? 1 Maccabees 5 and 3. Then Judas fought against the children of Esau in Idumea at Arabatane, because they besieged Gael, and he gave them a great overthrow and abated their courage and took their spoils. Also he remembered the injury of the children of Bean, who had been a snare and an offense unto the people, and that they lay in wait for them in the ways. He shut them up therefore in the towers, and encamped against them, and destroyed them utterly, and burned the towers of that place with fire, and all that were therein. So right here, destroyed them utterly. So they'll use that to say that all the Edomites were destroyed. And that's just not the case. By this time, you would have already had Edomites in different parts of the earth. This just happened to be that group of Edom that was there, plain and simple. You type in the word Edom again, they'll try to go to this one. And I'm just showing y'all, so you have it in your memory, so you know what scoffers are talking about when they try to say, oh, the Edomites were destroyed. All right, they usually try to go to one or two places. Let me see. You know what I was actually going to do? I was actually going to read because you have King Amaziah who smote the Edomites. It tells you right here in the 25th chapter. And then you go back to 2 Kings, 14, where it says, this is where it's at also in 2 Kings 14, that King Amaziah had smote the Edomites. But then you go just 3 chapters forward, and it says 2 Chronicles 20 and 17, for again the Edomites had come and smitten Judah and carried away captives. So right there, so even after King Amaziah had slayed some, the Edomites were still around. It said he took them and threw them off cliffs. Did that mean he exterminated all of them? No. All right. So let's look at some things. You deal with this word Edom, right? You deal with the word Quos. It was one of the gods of Edom. You come to Wiki, right? Go to this man here. Coastal Bars the First. It says whose name meant Quos is mighty. It says was a native Idumean descended from a priestly family attached to this cult. After Herod had placed him in command over Idumea, Coastal Bars supported by Cleopatra, even tried to prize the kingdom from Herod's Judea. In order to garner local support for his defection, he revived the old cult of Quos, perhaps to get Idumea's rural population still attached to traditional gods to back him. So this is hundreds of years after the time of Amaziah, and this is even not decades, but this is some years after Judas had smote them. All right, you come look at this man, Coastal Bars. So that automatically destroys the fact that they were exterminated in the times of kings and or exterminated in the time of Maccabees, because you have this man, it clearly told you he was an Idumean native, which is the Greek way of saying Edom. All right, I'm gonna get as much scriptures as I can, but I'm just showing you all the research that I was coming across today. When you get on this internet and type up Edom and and Amalek, you're gonna find some things, man. These people know who they are, and they know that they are of that seed line that is destined to be destroyed. So they're trying to hide it, but they can't, because some of them keep snitching on themselves. All right, it says Costobarus was an associate of Herod the Great, who we damn well for sure know was the Edomite. He's the son of Antipater the Idumean, literally. It says who was Costobarus governor of Idumea and second husband of Herod's sister Salome. So you come to find out this man was I don't want to say buddies with Herod, but he was using him because truly he wanted to get the seat for himself, like how Edom does. Jump down, it says Costobarus was an associate of Herod during the latter's rise to power, following the capitulation of Jerusalem in 37 BC during the campaign of Mark Antony. All right, jump down. It says, while Costobarus gladly accepted these favors, which were more than he had expected, he was never Herod's man. His focus was always towards Idumea and his own ambitions in that region. Costobarus was from a noble and priestly family in Idumea, and he resented that the Hasmonean John Hyrcanus, which was a descendant of the Maccabees, John Hyrcanus specifically was the son of Simon. Simon was the son of Judas Maccabeus, all right, had made the Idumeans adopt the custom and laws of the Jews. So here it is, this Edomite, he was mad that they were forced to live as Israel, in which that's that was going off. You can't not going, basically the heathens, they'll never be us, all right? We'll always be separate. Even when we force them under our laws, they can't convert to being an Israelite, all right? Even in the kingdom of heaven, they're not going to be converted to being Israelites. They're just simply going to have to do what we say or get their heads bashed in, all right? But this goes to show you that they existed past the time of 1 Maccabees, the 5th chapter. All right, so I could read the whole rest of this, but we got a lot to bounce around to. But this just goes to show you that the Edomites were well and alive. All right, let's get this out of the book of Psalms. All right, Psalm 64 and 8. So shall they make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All they that see them shall flee away. All right, this man, he snitched on his own damn self. So now let's come back. Let's look at the word Amalek, right? This is out of the Uish Encyclopedia. I didn't write this. I didn't make this up. Vocab, y'all got to come deal with this. You don't believe us. Well, are you going to believe that group of people telling you out of their own mouths? All right, it says name of a nomadic nation south of Palestine. It says that the Amalekites were not Arabs, but of a stock related to the Edomites, consequently also the Hebrews. It tells you plain right there, they are not Arabs, all right? Because when you dig into Edom, certain places will like to tell you, oh, they're Arabs. No, those are two different seed lines. Ishmael is the father of the Arabs, not Edom. Amalek was the grandson of Esau. So if he's the grandson, what does that mean? Edom himself was not Arab. All right, jumping down now. Jumping down to, I want to get, where is this at? Where is this at? All right, and so we're actually going to jump now to one of the next articles. I was just grabbing little little things, man. Piece by freaking piece. All right. This is another one. This is father of Herod the Great, Antipater the Idumean, and he was ruling in Rome. All right. In the backside of this video, showing you that the Romans were the Edomites, and the people who call themselves Uish today. The funny thing is that they specifically state that they say, hey, the Romans are Edomites. They say it themselves. It says so right here, Antipater the first, the Idumean, was the founder of the Herodian dynasty and father of Herod the Great. According to Josephus, he was the son of Antipas and had formerly held that name. So I'm just grabbing this. Some of y'all already know of him. Literally, he was born in Edom. And this man was, in league with the Romans. Why so? Because they're all the same people. It's just that the people who call themselves Romans, they chose to change their name. But truly, they descend from Edom. It's as plain as simple as that. Now, this is another article from breslov.org, right? It says, who and where is Amalek today? Reading a little bit, it says, now the Midrash is something from the Talmud. Now, we don't believe in it, nor do we fuck with it. But in that book, apparently they snitched on themselves a bit, y'all. It says the Midrash relates, cursed are the wicked. They occupy their time with ideas about how to destroy the Jews, which each one vying for the honor of having the best idea. All right, that sounds like they ripping off of Psalms 83. All right, so what we're going to do now is jump down, actually, to... These are things that's being quoted out of the Talmud. All right, it says right here, today, though, Amalek definitely and unfortunately exists. We cannot say with certainty who or where all of them are. However, there is a noteworthy exception. So right here, the rats plainly and clearly told you Amalek still exists to this day. Now, are they going to openly say that they are Amalek? No, of course not. Some of them don't even know, but they claim now vocab, right? We're us so-called blacks, Latinos. We're not the Israelites. So here it is. These people who are claiming to be the Israelites, they just outright said Amalek still exists today in their own Talmudic writings. All right. So how about that? You know, piece of shit. All right. It says when Kaiser Wilhelm of Germany visited Jerusalem, which you should be familiar with because he is the king of the bottomless pit. All right. In Revelation. Right here, Revelation 9 and 11, dealing with the First World War, right? It says, and they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue hath his name Apollyon. And when you look into him, you'll see why he's known as the king. Because, literally, actually, he was the last king of Germany before the Weimar Republic. I may be pronouncing it wrong. I know brothers pronounce it differently, but he was the last king. All right, Kaiser Wilhelm II, I believe. All right. So just doubling back now. Now, what did they say of him? Right. It says when Kaiser Wilhelm of Germany visited Jerusalem during his journey to the Holy Land, almost all the religious leaders of Jerusalem came to the city gates to greet him. Rabbi Yosef Chaim Sonnenfeld died in 1932. It looks like. The spiritual leader of the Ashkenazi Jewry in Israel at that time did not go. When asked about his refusal, he answered that although Kaiser himself was deserving of the honor bestowed upon him, I have a tradition that Germany is Amalek. All right. Now, we understand that Teman is Amalek and that they're going off with that statement. But that rat understood that that man was an Edomite and that he didn't want to have any dealings with him. Scratch the record. I thought Edom was done away with. What are they doing still around during World War I times? All right. How about that? Vocab and all you. Hey, this is y'all own people snitching on y'all selves. All right. And he got it wrong because, like I said, Germany is the Temanites, as we understand through the Spirit Party, how about Shem Yahushai taught to us by our apostles, because they're the ones that have. It tells you in that scripture, you know, they're the wise man is Teman. All right. You look at Germans and their technological advances. All right. It lines up. So here it is. You have one rat saying that another rat is a rat, snitching on themselves, man. So they falling apart. They can't hold it together. And I want to jump down some more because you see, let me see. And, okay, that's it for this one. We'll go to the next one. So this is just a cool little thing I found, man. And this was back from 2011. This was before, you know, the Israelite thing got a bit big. So you can't say, oh, that's just somebody made up because no. They upped and decided to snitch on themselves for whatever reason. All right, you come over some more. We're good off this one. 1948, the year Edom conquered Israel. Wow, how about that? Let me see. Here we go. Now we have this right here. It says Esau, the ancestor of Rome, the Torah.com. I didn't make this website. Wow. All right. It says in the Bible, Esau is the ancestor of the Edomites who live on Mount Seir, southwest of Judah. So how did the rabbis come to associate Esau, Edom with Rome? Two main factors are at work here, Christianity and Herod. So deal with this, vocab and scoffers alike. Here it is. You have those people over there who claim to be the chosen. They themselves are telling you, you so-called modern-day white people, you know, you love to claim Rome, right? You love to claim Greece, right? Well, guess what? That's Edom. And one of the guys they like to point out, as a matter of fact, I'm going to read one of these little paragraphs real quick, actually. Let's see. Where's it at? I read it over earlier. Let me see where it's at. Right here, right? You go to Edom and Rome. All right, it says the basic sketch of the relationship between the polities of Israel, Judea, and Edom, Idumea, during the biblical and Second Temple periods indicates that Rome was a polity that ruled from the Mount Seir area, from Wadi al-Hassa, southeast of the Dead Sea, in the modern-day Jordan, and southward, eventually extending. Oh, so, you know, we don't need that. All right. So let me jump down. Wow, it says, and yet Rabbinic Midrash associates Esau and Edom with a completely different geographical area, the city of Rome in the Italian peninsula, and speaks as if Romans are all Edomites. How did this develop? All right, so right there, they telling you, them rats is over there. Let me get that, man. See, because what the problem is, they're having internal revenue issues. There, you got one group of the devil lording over the other group, you know, so they're kind of mad, so they snitching on them, y'all. Let me see. Right here, Matthew 12:26. And if Satan casts out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? Right there. So this is all you're seeing. You know, the apostles have brought this out in many forms and methods way before me, so this ain't nothing new. But what you have is one group of Edomites mad because all the other ones is getting the money, the rulership of the earth, and the other ones ain't. So they all just snitching and throwing rocks at each other. Just telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. All right. Jump down right here. They make mention of Romans, the 9th chapter. All right. It says, by tying the choice of Jacob to the choice of Isaac, Paul implies but does not state outright that his followers should be identified with Jacob and his opponents should be identified with Esau. Right there. So even, and you know, they're saying that Paul didn't imply. Paul said what he said, and he understood that the chosen were the Israelites, that the enemy, that the wicked were Esau, the Edomites. All right. The mystery of iniquity that doth already work. Who do you think that's talking about? Paul knew, but did you? All right, we coming down some more. So now you have this guy right here, Hadrian, king of Edom, whom now this guy existed, all right, and he did do certain things in history, but that Talmud, you know, it's not 100% accurate. Shit, if it should, if any accurate. So they go off and describing some of his things, all right, but they are going to make a connection here. So how about that? All right, it says Mishrat, Tanchuma, whatever the fuck that means. It says takes this a step further and connects Edom with the Emperor Hadrian, who put down the Bar Kokhba revolt. Right there. So Hadrian had nothing to do with 70 AD, but he did put down what's known right here as the Bar Kokhba revolt. All right. So it says, after Hadrian, king of Edom, they called this man king of Edom, right? But what was he also known as? Let's go back to, let me go get it. Slovakia. Hadrian, former Roman emperor. Hadrian was a Roman emperor from 117 to 138. He was born into a Roman Italo-Hispanic family, which settled in Spain from the Italian city of Atri and Picenum. His father was of a senatorial rank and was first cousin of Emperor Trajan. All right, now it says right there Hispanic. It doesn't mean he was. We use the term Hispanic today to describe Northern Kingdom because they were slaves under, you know, people, the Edomites who were calling themselves Spanish. All right, when he calls himself a Italo-Hispanic family, meaning, you know, they're the Edomites. All right, they're the ones that actually brought that whole ideology over. But right here, just showing the point, it says Hadrian was a former Roman emperor, and you come over here, it says after Hadrian, king of Edom. Why? Because he was an Edomite. It says conquer the world. He returned to Rome and said to his officers, I want you to make me a god since I have conquered the world. They said to him, but ye have not established your rule over his God's city and his house. He went, succeeded, destroyed the temple, exiled Israel, and returned to Rome. He said to them, I have now destroyed this house and burned his temple and exiled the people. So now, like I said, he didn't actually, he had nothing to do with 70 AD. All right, so they're reaching or exaggerating a little bit right there, nor did he conquer the actual world, but he did fuck us up, the Israelites. You know, he did fuck us up. What he actually did was right here, the Bar Kokhba rebellion, 60 years after 70 AD. All right. So thus makes Hadrian. Yep. So let me jump down. Let me jump down to, I want to get what, where is it at? Let me see. Hang on, y'all. Salakia. Oh, okay. Right here, you have this guy as well. This is the other guy I was looking for. It says Antoninus and the place of the Edomites in the world to come. It says the metaphor of Rome as Esau was not limited to Hadrian or even to the Romans who antagonized the rabbis. It says even those Roman officials who were beloved by the rabbis are still spoken of as of descendants of Esau in rabbinic literature. So here it is in their very own Talmud, y'all. Apparently, we don't read it and sit down. We don't sit down and read it. So these things are hidden to us, but they know this. Here it is. They're straight up calling the Romans Edom, y'all. Like literally in their shit, man. Come on now. So here it is. These scoffers will tell us the nation of E doesn't exist, but you go crack open the T book, the Talmud book, and they outright telling you, man. Come on now. All right. So it says, keep going. It says descendants of Esau in rabbinic literature, according to one Talmud legend, for instance, Antoninus, probably a loose reference to Hadrian's successor, Antonius Pius, worries that as a descendant of Esau, he will not be saved. It says, Antonius said to Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi, will I enter into the world to come? Says Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi said to him, yes. Antoninus said to him, but isn't it written, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau? Obadiah 1:18. Damn straight. Rabbi Yehudi Nasi answered, this refers to those who behaved like Esau. And that part is a lie. All right, so Antoninus' worries were correct. You're not going to make it because you're not of the seed of Israel. All right, you going down and you're being destroyed. That scripture doesn't mean if you act like Esau. That scripture means if you are a descendant of the Edomites, you are not going to make it. All right, Edom is the scene of great future judgment. And I could go on some of the things I was finding. Like I said, you have to learn how to throw out the bones, eat the meat and throw out the bones when you're doing digging like this. All right. Right here, 1948, the year Edom conquered Israel. All right, this is another one. All right. Let me jump down. Right here, it says Rome, right? Apparently in one of their books known as, says, also once again in Midrash, it says, Esther Rabbah makes the following claim. 2 orphans were left to Esau, namely Remus and Romulus, who were what? The so-called creators of Rome. It says, and you, Elohim, gave permission to a she-wolf to suckle them, and afterwards they arose and built Rome. So right there in their own books, y'all, they're telling you that they're, come on, man. It don't get no more plainer. It don't get no more plainer, y'all. It don't get no more plainer. I could do this for the rest of the night. I tried to keep it as short as I physically could. But, I had to bring out all these different little articles. These people, see, what they're scared of is this right here, y'all. What they're scared of is this right here. The scriptures say what they say. Isaiah 63:1. Who is this that cometh from Edom, with dyed garments from Basra, that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength? I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. That's what they're afraid of, y'all. That's why they're passing the blame around of, no, you are. No, you are. No, they don't exist. No, they are. Well, they're not Arabs, they passing the blame around because they're scared of this right here. The fact that our Lord Yahweh Shai is waiting to come do what? Verse 4. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. They know that the Lord is coming to fuck Edom up, and they're scared, y'all. That's why one part of them want to say they don't exist. The other part of them pointing the finger this way. The other part is pointing the finger that way. Then you got the elites who's just fucking up the planet and don't even give a fuck. They like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm the enemy. I'm just going to do my thing till it's the end of the reign, you know. So it's just a video through the spirit. You know, I hope some of this, you know, y'all, you know, take some of this information. You can look into it, type in some of these names, type in some of the website names. You know, it's clear that this dude didn't go nowhere. All you have now is modern day technology. All right, that's the only difference. So, hey, with that, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakorash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all the Akwath, learning and teaching truth and sincerity. I'm going to say Shalom.